Okay.
Well, Nick, multiple people have said you look like a different guy this year. Just how different do you feel right now compared to where you even ended the season last year?
Yeah, I feel much better. I mean, every day I've been working. This whole process for me, going through this whole injury has been a lot, and just staying motivated and just keep working every single day. And I feel really, really good right now. Drop some pounds. It's like I like to say, you take some load out of the car. The horsepower and stuff's still the same, but you get to move a little faster and stuff. And overall, I just feel way better.
Can you take us through a little bit what you did to get to this point physically?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it was just consistency. Rehabbing here helped out a lot, and then I also took my family, my pregnant wife, my son, and my daughter, who just won. We went to Arizona for probably like 2 months and worked out there just to change the scenery, just to different stuff, and it was really good for us. And just work, like I said, work every day. It's almost like with injuries like this, it's always you're thinking whether you're going to be able to play like the same or not, and that kind of fuels me every day to do that. So just consistency and working.
Nick, how much of being a teammate of Mark's and seeing him play and knowing that he trained out there factored in that consistency?
That didn't factor in at all. I didn't go out there for Mark. All right, let's get this straight. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it was cool. Like, kind of crazy how it worked out. His house was like 10 minutes away. I went over to Mark's a lot. When my kids were napping only though. Couldn't go over when my kids on napping because I feel guilty. But so we go over, catch balls, and his parents are super nice. His whole family's super nice, and they had our family over, and we were hanging out a lot, and it was good to see him.
Nick, was there a workout? Was there a trainer in particular you went there to work with that you knew from the past? Like, how did you wind? I'm sure that was a tough sell for your wife at the time. Right?
Yeah, it was tough for her. Her being pregnant and stuff was tough. I kind of just reached out to my agent just to feel around. Just because I just needed to change the scenery. I've been here for so long. I've always trained here in the offseason, and there was no issues here. I love it here. I just want to change the scenery for me and my family just for a little bit. It's just been a long rehab process, and it was a little hard to get her to go. Like the airport and stuff, man, car seats, and my 2-year-old and my 1-year-old. It's like, oh my God. But she was really, really good about it and really supported me through this whole thing.
Nick, you guys lose a $1,000 receiver, Marquise Brown.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bunch of young wideouts now. Do you guys, as veteran tight ends, you kind of put your onus on you guys to start being more productive, help the young guys out, put more production on offense?
Yeah, I don't know if I think of it as a production standpoint. I think maybe helping them out as in learning the playbook, running the right routes, because the scouts in the front office who bring people in here are obviously going to be good players. So a lot of times good players become great players or get on the field by knowing what to do and doing the right thing. So I think it's really just guiding them that way, and for us tight ends, we know our role, we know what to do.
Nick, how'd you get linked up with James Harrison?
James, yeah. So that was the place I was training at. He works out there as well. And it was cool. I see him there. That dude's super strong, man. I feel like an 8th grader next to him. Half the time when I'm out there, I'm like embarrassed. But so I went there, and he was out there. And the first couple of days, I didn't really say anything to him because it's kind of like, he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. Really likes him. You know what I mean? Kind of thing like that. And then after a couple of days, kind of broke the ice, started talking to him, found he's a really nice dude, and just really trained with him, worked out with him, and it's really cool.
Nick, one of the guys, one of the new guys you've lined up next to is Daniel Kilgore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a sport played by big guys, but still, does his size stand out even because of his
he's huge, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a huge dude, and he's kind of like Orlando, reminds me of Orlando, just size-wise. You look at him like, man, this dude's massive. And, he has, such a high potential, such a high ceiling. And just him coming out here, I see him working all the time, and I think he really has that mindset to get better. And like you said, blocking-wise, when you're bigger and stronger than that, I mean, double teams and all those things are so much better to do. So, I'm looking forward to working with him.
How much, 2-part question, how many pounds did you
Did I shed exactly? So what I weighed before, it was like, I range. So before, fluctuated before my injury kind of a thing. Probably played around like 272, 274, maybe 78, it depends. After, right now I'm probably like 262. But I feel good, and I'm way stronger than I was at that weight. So I think it was just a lot of deloading on my knee. I feel my body's overall so much better, and that's, like I said, the consistency, eating correctly, like these meal prep things. I had like 4 meals a day. That was it. No snacking, no anything. And then I tell everyone, like, my wife would cook stuff and I wouldn't eat it. She would hate that. You know, she'd be like, I'm just cooking for our kids now. And they're like 2 and 1. So it was really, you know, I want to say satisfying to see that work kind of pay off and to continue it to, you know, get back on the field the way I want to.
And do you not have to wear that brace anymore, or like how are you approaching that?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to really strengthen my knee and kind of just roll without it.
Last season, grinding through that injury, was there any thought to say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to have to take another year and not come back? Like, what made you grind through it the way you did?
Yeah, that's hard. Man, that year was tough for me. I think basically just being around the building, especially in season, seeing people practice, watching the film, being in the meeting rooms, it was like, man, I just got to try everything to do to get out there, you know? It's like, it's just so hard to sit back and watch when you've been a part of something to maybe I wasn't really good or ready or my leg wasn't up to standard, but I just really wanted to get out there and kind of show that, you know, I'm here to really try to get back on the field. I feel like people just around the league, sometimes people get injured and then they kind of strain out injuries and don't want to get back out there. And that was like the number one thing I didn't want to show. You know what I mean? I'm showing I here want to come, I want to participate, even though I'm not really up to like playing wise, but I went out there and tried to do it. You know, it's just something that was kind of my attitude.
Was it in your head every time you came out to practice? I know I'm not all the way there.
Yeah, that was the tough part, man. Every day it's like a mental battle. And my wife says, you know, sometimes I'm like a roller coaster. One day I say I feel great, and the next day I'm like, ugh, you know what I mean? She's like, I got to manage your emotions, and she did a good job with that. But that was tough, and I think that's with all injuries, you know what I mean? Anytime a player goes back out there and they don't feel like they're playing, you know, even close to where they were before, it's like, it's very demoralizing kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, that's where you kind of find, you know, who you are and what you do. So, you know, coming back around this year and feeling so much better, it's a really good feeling. And, you know, I still got to take advantage of the whole spring and everything in the off season to get there. But it's on a good path.
Nick, I remember 4 years ago we asked you about Mark and Hayden as rookies. 2 more rookie
We got
tight
2
ends
more now. I mean, they draft 2
in.
all the time. Yeah.
What have been your early impressions of them, and you know, any similarities at all? And just
Yeah,
your early thoughts on them.
I don't know if we can compare anything to Mark Hayden. It's different, you know what I mean? But those guys are awesome. First, when new people come in the room, it's like, can we be friends before, you know, teammates? Are they cool enough? Like, do they talk to you? They say hi to you? Or they walk by you like, I know you're there. And, you know, both these guys are awesome like that. You know, they fit in really well. And on top of that, when you see them out here running plays and catching balls and stuff, they're really, really good. So, I mean, everyone we bring in, you know, the more competition brings out the better in everybody. And, you know, they're just going to help our team.
Nick, do you have those doubts anymore, whether you can do it, or with how you feel now, or are those kind of pretty far in the rear view?
Those are pretty far in the rear view. There's days where I don't feel as good, and there's days where I feel like $1 million. And, you know, that's still kind of working through it at this point. But it's not like anywhere near last year, you know what I mean, in doing this. And can I go out there? It's just feel so much better, and I'm just ready to go. Really excited to be out there and participating. That's the worst thing. You're in there just watching out the window like a little kid, man. Sitting out there, I'm like, man, I just want to go out there. And, you know, to be able to go back out there and feel good while being out there just, you know, is a blessing.
All right, thank you, Nick.
Thanks,
Cool.
Nick.
Thanks, guys.